morning, everyone. I thought today that I would tell some stories about the furniture that I've made over the years. Since I sell most of it on my website, theresplendentcrow.com, I can actually go look at every single piece and I can tell you why we made it, where it came from, what the inspiration was, the ideas, all these kind of things. Oh, this might be kind of fun. It's about 6 a.m. this morning, and I'm just kind of getting my morning going. Got a little bit of coffee here, and I think it'd be kind of fun. So I paint a lot of furniture, which turns off a lot of the male audience, which is what is predominantly on YouTube. And while many of you think that you want to make stained furniture, I don't disagree with that one bit, but I'm going to tell you that you're competing with a lot of other people. So men that make painted furniture don't have to compete with a ton of other men, which makes, I won't say easy, but it makes it easier. So anyway, we'll start here. This is a curved faux bamboo vanity, right? The other thing you want to pay attention to as woodworkers is pay attention to the website, right? This website is a Shopify website. It costs me about $400 a month to maintain, so it's quite expensive, but that's not that bad in the grand scheme of things. Websites, really nice websites, cost about $2,500 a month to maintain, plus all the fees associated with every time you sell something. So you want to think about that kind of stuff. But anyway, this piece of furniture, blow it up. So the story behind this vanity is my wife wanted to redo a room in her house, our house, and she wanted a vanity. It's a powder room, and so I was like, well, hell, I'll make you, whatever you want. She's like, well, I want a faux bamboo vanity, and she liked one of the other vanities, which I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, so I made this for her, and we added a curved element to it to keep the sides from intersecting with basically two walls at the same time, right? So you have that curvature, gives the illusion that the room is slightly bigger than it. So anyway, so I built this for her. We stuck it in there. Didn't work. She didn't like how it looked. It was a little bit too wide, too deep. The width was okay, but it was just a little bit too deep. So again, when you open that door, it just gave the appearance that there was too much room, or gave the appearance that the vanity was just too big for the room. And so we ended up having to make another one. And this sucks because this particular vanity, when I make these things, it takes me, I want to say it probably takes me 2 or 3 days really to kind of make this thing between all the stuff that I'm doing during the course of a day. So it's not like I just whipped it out one afternoon and I was done with it. And then my curves, I have to, of course, make all the curved doors. And the curved doors are solid, which means you have to actually bend panels. And the way that I generally bend my panels is I got two methods. One is I use wiggle wood, or people call it bendable plywood. And you can bend it in the orientation you want to bend it to. And usually I'll laminate both sides of it on the curve that I need. And then it gives you a nice flat surface that can then be painted. And it's beautiful. The other thing you can do is you can take pieces of 1/8" plywood. You can bend them on an arc as well using some, I think it's called Unibond. And, you vacuum bag it. Or you can just use some ratchet straps, works pretty well, and you can create your curves that way. And then you cut the bent panel down the center and shape it like this. So anyway, that's kind of the story behind this one. So I didn't take up too much space. So we ended up making this kind of open air vanity. And again, I built this one I actually built in like an afternoon. I had these old legs that were just random stock that I had from different kinds of projects over the years. So I took those legs, cut a couple notches in them, put a base, and a little apron around it, and that's it. That's all that I've done. I didn't do much. I put a little bit of faux bamboo trim on it, and we went and we made a template, got the countertop done, and turned it into a beautiful powder room vanity that my wife then used for her bathroom. And again, this thing's been up for like a month, so I haven't sold any one of them. And again, it'll probably take me 6 months before I sell one, if I'm lucky. But once it catches on, then you start kind of moving these pieces, and it's it is what it is. But anyway, so basically made that thing out of entire scraps of old stuff that I just didn't end up using. Ended up photographing really well. My wife was super happy with it, and again, because the Resplendent Crow is so known for its faux bamboo furniture, this kind of stuff fits in perfectly with our product line. So I didn't really have to do anything to develop this. This thing was developed out of a necessity. I never thought about it. It wasn't some customer that had an idea. I just put it all together. So I'm kind of story behind that one. Let's look at some other stuff in here real quick. So all three of these pieces, these are all pieces that I made. We make all this stuff now. This is an 80-inch faux bamboo dresser. And again, I know that there's a lot of men that aren't going to be interested in stuff, but you're going to pick up a lot of tips about manufacturing, about how to make things, about how to get ideas, and how things are constructed and how things are created. And the number one skill is actually just to be curious, right? And a lot of people don't have the curiosity. They only want to do what they want to do, and which is why they end up exactly where they end up. They do not have the ability to pivot and bob and weave and move around to get where they want to get. They just want to bash their head through every freaking wall they can to try and get where they want to be, and it's rough. This particular piece is 80 inches. Okay, the originals. This is obviously newly made, but the originals were 62 and 72 inches, if I'm not mistaken. And anyway, they're not big enough, right? And they're only 30 inches tall because furniture back in the day was shorter, mostly, than it is today. Today, people have bigger houses, right? People are actually taller, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, humans have grown over the years. Anyway, people just want things that are taller. Beds are taller, nightstands are taller. And if you're like the Resplendent Crow, where we deal with the 1% and the 1% of the 1%, these kind of clients, they want big furniture for their big spaces. So you have to have big stuff. So I created a dresser that's built just like the original, that is 35 inches tall and 80 inches wide, which is kind of a standard now for dressers. They used to be much smaller, 62 and 68 was a very common dimension. Now we're up to 80, and that's how it'll be. We'll just keep growing furniture, I guess, until the things shrink, which could happen. But anyway, the story behind this is we needed to have, obviously, I use standard legs for most of my furniture. This particular dresser required a whole new leg, so I had to go design a new leg, get new legs turned, and all that kind of stuff. But the other thing is, most dressers, believe it or not, I'd say 60 inches and greater, sag. Over the years, they start to sag, and there's no getting around it. And I've sold, I don't know, 15, 20,000 pieces of vintage furniture at this point. And it's true for most of them. They sag. It's just kind of what it is, unless there's some kind of a center support there. So what I did is I designed this piece of furniture. I didn't want to have a center support in there, right? We wanted this thing to be awesome. So what I did is I ended up putting a piece of angled steel underneath the front of this cabinet, right? So we have the end panel is locked in with the steel, and then the other end panel is locked in with the steel. And the strength of steel over this is going to be like a 76-inch run, is unbeatable. Like, it's not going to sag, it's not going to move, it's just going to stay there forever. And so this dresser is going to last forever. It's never going to sag, and that's one of the things we did. We improved the design of Henry Link, who's the manufacturer of the original. And so anyway, that's kind of what we did there. And that thing, I've sold 2 of those so far. I've had this thing listed for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months at this point. And you can see how we make all the drawer fronts out of what's called MDO, which is a highly paintable product that's not super duper expensive, works really well, and it's moisture resistant and even waterproof for that matter. It's made with epoxies and phenolic skins, and so again, it paints really well, and it just stands up to any kind of moisture. So if you're ever building vanities and things like that, MDO is a great product. If you're gonna paint, or if you're gonna veneer, you can veneer it, but MDO doesn't come pre-veneered like a lot of other plywoods do. So anyway, this desk, I've got to start another one of these this week. Probably Monday, Tuesday. What I have going on here is I had a gal who really liked an executive desk that I made, which I'll show you at some point. But anyway, so I basically just changed the design of that executive desk into a faux bamboo piece, and the client was just ecstatic, just absolutely ecstatic. And we always want to do this, but we just never had the opportunity. But because we make so much faux bamboo furniture, clients literally come to us wanting custom faux bamboo furniture, right? And this is one of those things about being a business owner. I did a video about the Lindy effect here a couple of days ago. This is the Lindy effect, right? You do this thing long enough, you become the person that does this thing, right? And when you've been around for so long, people automatically assume that you're going to be around forever. And that's just kind of how it works. So you become that company. So you do it long enough, and this is one of the ways that you stay in business, is just by having a product and being known for that product and always being out there when people need that product. You're the first company they think of, but anyway, it's just basic desk. Most of your vintage desks are going to have wooden slides, very common to see wood on wood slides. And of course, we have soft close bloom undermounts on everything, and clients just love that kind of stuff. And we do cherry drawer boxes for everything, 3/8 cherry drawer boxes. And I don't know how much shit I get from people. Oh, you need to build, 5/8, 3/4 inch. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Fine furniture does not use thick drawer boxes. Kitchens and bathrooms use that shit. And I fought people, and I'll fight people every time. Fine furniture uses 3/8 cherry drawer boxes. So when people say, "What do you know?" Okay, trust me, I know I've made more furniture than most people, and I've sold more vintage furniture than almost anybody. And all, not some, all high-end vintage furniture uses 3/8 drawer boxes. Might not be cherry. A lot of times it's oak, and it can even be mahogany back then because I had a lot of mahogany. But that's what it is, So I'll never give up on this fact. But anyway, this is just a drawer for put lateral file storage, and it's the dimensioning is set up so that you can run your files in there, and it's a pretty cool piece, and people seem to like it. And you can see all the details, a lot of faux bamboo details on this stuff. And again, this is what we do, So anyway, that's how this piece came to be. Someone saw another desk that I built and wanted a version in faux bamboo. So that was an easy, whatever, $6,000-7,000, whatever that piece costs. Yeah, 7,000. So, and this is the new King Daddy piece of furniture, and this is the thing that is making me a lot of money these days because it's super unique. And again, sorry, man, you're not gonna get it, and that's fine. This is the thing. It's $8,000, right? So I'm selling probably, since I put this thing up, I probably put this thing up 6 months ago, but I'm selling probably 2 of these a month, right? So this selling 2 of these a month literally pays my salary every single month by itself. There's a lot of money in custom furniture if you have the right product and you're able to stay in business long enough. You don't know when they're going to hit, right? A lot of people think, I made this amazing thing. It's so great. I can't wait to sell this. I'm going to introduce it to the world. It's going to make me a millionaire, and nobody's interested. This piece is very different. I have more interest in this piece than I've had in a long time. But anyway, so this piece got created because my wife had shown me maybe 8 years ago, took me to a client's house who she painted a piece of furniture for. And the client had a pagoda style faux bamboo furniture. And I'm going to try and put the picture in here if I can find it in this video. Took me to this woman's house, and this woman had 2 of these in her dining room. And I thought these were just incredible. I was blown away by what I had seen. Not only like from the craftsmanship standpoint, but like I'm not one of those people. Like I don't look and think like, oh God, the craftsmanship. So I never think like that. I'm a design guy, I think, and I see a design, I'm just like, wow, that's really cool, or that's really unique, or something like that. And anyway, it had this pagoda style top, and what it had that really impressed me was it had this faux bamboo fretwork, which is something that nobody has. We're the only people in the world that sell this thing, this kind of fretwork, and it's super unique. And anyway, she took me there to where I think we're doing some touch ups or something like that. Or the woman might have wanted another piece of furniture, and so anyway, I asked her if I could take dimensions and pictures, and I took pictures. Just like there's a very famous woodworker named Robert Whitley, I believe is his name, and he was commissioned to recreate a couple of the Resolute desks, right? One for the Kennedy Center and one for, I forget where the other one was. But he made a couple of copies of the Resolute desk, which Google that if you want to see stuff. If you're into like craftsmanship, like the guy that can make that, like that guy's, top notch, right? That guy's the best of the best as far as I'm concerned. Measurements and photos of this entire piece of furniture. And I probably spent, I don't know, an hour or so just collecting measurements and pictures. And 7-8 years later, I finally got around to remaking this thing. And my version is different. So what I did, her version had a very Asian-y style base, which I actually liked more than the base that I ended up using. But I used these legs for, I don't know, a dozen different pieces of furniture, right? So I wanted to be able to use the same leg on a bunch of different designs. So I went ahead and incorporated the same style leg, and that's what I use. And people like it. It's not a problem. I was concerned that it wouldn't have the Asian details, but truth is that we've curated a collection of furniture for almost 10 years at this point, and people have a certain kind of a look. And I think that if I had went with a different base, it might be popular, but it just wouldn't have quite the Resplendent Crow look. So anyway, that's what we did with this piece, and it it turned out phenomenal. And creating these kind of hoods, a lot of people don't like to do that shit. It's it takes a little bit of skill, but it's turned out to be a great piece of furniture. And this thing is really cooking. And so we got those, and again, I can keep going through these. I should. We'll go. Let's do one more. I've made all this stuff. All this. This is what I've done over the years. You get known for making something, and it takes a long time. And nobody had made faux bamboo credenza before, and so my wife had seen. I want to say it was a Hendrodon break front. She's like, "Man, sure would be nice if we had something like that as part of our bamboo collection." And again, this piece of furniture, we were the first to make this thing, and I don't sell a ton of these. I really don't. You can see the price on it is $7,300. I've sold more of the faux bamboo piece that I just showed you, the pagoda top china cabinet, than I've sold of this. And I started making this in 2023, and I actually started doing YouTube videos at that point. So I did a full build video, and nobody cared, right? Nobody can make this. Like, no one makes this kind of stuff, and there's no interest on YouTube because it's painted, and so no one has interest. But again, I'll take the checks, whatever. So anyway, I sell probably 2 or 3 of these a year, and I think it's just a matter of time before this catches on. I've seen other people start to copy this piece of furniture. So there's a couple people here in the United States that are having these made, I believe, in Vietnam or Egypt. I forget where. So they're copying our shit, and that's part of the game. Unfortunately, you cannot patent furniture. That's one of the reasons I can make a Dorothy Draper Espana furniture, and I don't have to pay them a licensing fee. I just call it Dorothy Draper style, and you're good. Same thing here. If I wanted to say this is a Henry Link, all I got to do is say it's a Henry Link style piece of furniture, and I'm golden. And anyway, so when people are copying your stuff, you're going to deal with a lot of copycats, and then there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is build a brand, right? So because the Resplendent Crow is such a valuable name, my wife popularized high gloss lacquered furniture, and I've popularized making faux bamboo furniture and being a faux bamboo manufacturer. When people see this, right, someone can sell this thing for $1,000, $2,000 less than me, and they're still going to buy our product because again, we have that name. People want to know that they have a Resplendent Crow. They don't want to see some, some poppies I'm making or whatever these other companies are that are copying our shit. Like they don't want to see that. They want their friends to know they got the real deal. It'd be like talking about how fast your car is, and you show them some copycat, Bentley. Like, no, they want to see they want the Bentley. They don't want your copycat Bentley. But it's just as fast. Like, nobody gives a shit. And that's the thing about dealing with high-end customers and high-end products is people don't want your fakery, right? They don't want you to tell them how amazing your product is. You don't have the name. You didn't put in the work. Like, you don't have the pedigree. And you will over time, right? You got to put in the time. But this idea that people have that you just follow someone's steps and you're going to end up being a successful business owner or furniture maker, like it's all bullshit. Time is undefeated, So anyway, that's what we did here. So again, same legs, right? I know I just talked about this a second ago. All the faux bamboo, it's the same style of faux bamboo that I use for most of my furniture, right? I make all my own faux bamboo. And while it's not a secret per se, I don't talk about it very much because it's one of those things that I'm not giving that stuff away. It's not happening. But anyway, this piece of furniture, it's been in magazines. It's beautiful as well. And don't sell a ton of them, but give it time. It'll move. And again, made in America. A lot of people can't put that on their furniture these days because most people that sell a lot of furniture aren't making their shit here. They're making it overseas because, like I've said in many of my videos, people don't really want to make furniture for a living. They just want to be rich and make furniture on their own time, which is cool, man. You do you. I want to make furniture all the time. I want to make furniture till I die. I'm one of those people that while I have to run a company a lot, every spare second I get, I'm making furniture. And most of the furniture that I've sold, I've touched. Not all of it, but I've touched it at one point or another. So anyway, that piece is pretty. I'm very proud of that piece. It's probably one of my favorite pieces of furniture. So faux bamboo nightstands. These are vintage. I also make copies of these. So whenever we can't source vintage ones, I'll go and pull some legs and I'll go ahead and make a couple of these. So that's how it goes. Credenza, I'm the guy that makes those too. These, I hardly sell any of these. For some reason, people just don't like it. They'd rather buy this, to be quite honest with you. But I don't sell a ton of these, but I might sell 1 or 2 of them a year. Just not very many. It's just not popular, but same legs. So I'm able to buy those legs. I don't have to have 1,000 different leg designs like a lot of people do. Faux Bamboo Vanities, again, made this design. I stole this design from somebody else. It's like James something. I don't remember who it is. I'll show you the next piece of Faux Bamboo furniture that I'll show you the original design. But anyway, I stole this design, not this particular 3-drawer, but a two-door version. But I ended up popularizing the 3-drawer looking version. And there's 2 drawers here. Actually, we'll just click on it real quick. There's 2 drawers, and this, of course, is just a blank. You put your sink and everything in there. It's the X style pattern right here. That's kind of the popular motif, I guess. But you can see, just like anyone else, you'd have a channel for your plumbing. And of course, we always do 3/8 cherry drawer boxes, right? So we're known for our beautiful cherry drawer boxes, while everyone else is making maple, maybe that UV coated shit, or they're having all their drawer boxes outsourced to like the dozen companies in America that make drawer boxes for everybody. We have a unique drawer box, right? So people would rather, my customers would rather have a beautiful cherry drawer box than some maple drawer box that everybody else in America is making, So anyway, so there's a tip for you: be different, and talk about it. It's okay to be different. But again, find style. We could do 5/8, we could do 3/4 inch drawer boxes for vanities. It's perfectly acceptable, but no, not happening. And again, I probably sell 2 of these a month, 1 or 2 of these a month. So they're not super popular, but they're pretty cool. I really like them. And you can even see right up here, we're running these things for the table saw. I don't CNC cut these yet. Eventually I'll get to that, but I don't CNC cut these. So we hand cut these on table saw, and people love them. I've never had any complaints. People seem to really like this particular piece of furniture. You get different sizes. You can tell this is obviously a 24-inch version. It's very small, but we get good money for these things, $4,100. So anyway, it's a cool piece, because that's what my video is for the day. This is all vintage. Here's the original. Right, I make the 80-inch version. It's kind of cool. So you can buy vintage pieces for about $3,000. You want to buy one of my handmade ones, it's going to run you about $7,300, $7,500, something like that. So you can tell the difference between buying something that is vintage versus buying something new, especially if it's American made. I could have these things made in Mexico for about $2,000 a piece, and then have them sent up here to America and probably sell them for $4,000, So if you want to get into the outsourcing game, you want to be one of these people that outsources furniture, there you go. You got an option, and you can be one of those people, and you can compete with me. So here's a high-end product. So these I made 5 years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, and I made these with the intent of being the only person in America that made curved faux bamboo nightstands. That was my thought process for this. That's it. It wasn't like I was trying to come up with some kind of wild design, or I was inspired. I wasn't inspired. My mentality was, fuck you. Like, nobody can make this. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be the only person that makes it. So it was almost like an ego thing, and that's what it is. I'm the only person that makes them. And I might sell 1 set of these a year, maybe, if they're listed. Sometimes my wife just takes them down because we don't sell enough of them. That's all in the discussion. You can talk about having too many items on your websites and having too many products. You want people to be able to make decisions, but not too many decisions, right? Because if people have too many decisions to make, they won't make a decision at all. So anyway, thought process behind these was it was a big FU to just basically the furniture industry in general. I want to be the guy that made these, the only guy that makes them. And then to top it off, what I did here, I'll show you guys these pucks that you're seeing on the very top, and all the hardware. I shouldn't say not this one, but anyway, we'll talk about the pucks. The pucks themselves are all aerospace grade pucks, right? They're aerospace plated, which means they're aluminum, and they're very expensive. So every one of these pucks is about $200 to have it plated, and you have to send it down to, in my case, Texas. There's a couple companies in America that do this kind of stuff. And anyway, my intent was to make these specifically for the highest tier of customer. And truth is that while these are $8,500, they're actually kind of difficult to make. They're not the easiest thing in the world to make. But I'm launching, this is, if you're in this video to hear this stuff, I'll give you some back backend information. I'm working on launching basically a top tier website. So you're going to have the resplendentcrow.com, which is essentially going to be your retail side and your designer side. We have discounts and specific pages just for designers and people of the call it the trades. But anyway, I'm launching a website here this year that is going to be top tier. So this is where every piece of furniture will be, basically $10,000 and more. This is where you'll have your $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 pieces of furniture. And part of offering a product that costs that much money is you have to give something that nobody else can offer, right? And so one of the things that I'm doing is because I worked in aerospace for so long, I've got a lot of names, a lot of contacts. I'm going to have a lot of aerospace grade plating on my furniture, right? So I'm known for using brass. That's one of the things that Resplendent Crow does. We use brass, we make brass, we have vendors in India, and we're good with it, but we're not masters, right? So this next website is going to be the master level of furniture. And so it's something to look forward down the pipeline. But that's what I want to do. I don't want to move down. Like a lot of people are trying to, be faster and turn over more product and be more efficient. Me, I want to turn over less product. I want to sell an even higher quality of product. And I want my customers to have an even higher level of expectations. I want my customers to, I want to sell the Hermes Birkin bag of furniture. I want to sell the Lamborghini of furniture, right? That's what I want. And some people, guys won't understand that. And the only way that I can describe it to men is, if you, cars, I think are probably the easiest thing to do. You could buy a Ferrari for, 500 grand. And everyone knows that a Tesla is faster than a Ferrari. Tesla's, and people always talk about, oh, Tesla's faster. Okay, Tesla couldn't sell a $500,000 car if its life depended on it. Why is that? It's pedigree. It's quality. It's where it's made. It's heritage. It's all these things that Ferrari has done over the years. It's making something by hand. The customer wants all of that. And while they want it to be super fast, and the customer doesn't focus on that one thing like today's marketers would have you believe. There's so much more to selling a high-end product than being the best, right? Or being the fastest, or being the highest quality, or being won the most races. Like any one of those things is impressive, but it's not going to get you $500,000 for a car. There's many factors that go into it over the years, and Tesla will never be that, unfortunately, because Tesla makes a disposable car. Ferraris, while they do not last forever and they run like shit as they get older, they almost only go up in value. And that's because there are not very many of them. They are exclusive. They're just like the diamond industry, like their inventory is held back to keep demand high and to keep scarcity high. And I want to do that for furniture. I want the Resplendent Crow. I want to have a line of furniture that is so goddamn exclusive and expensive that only a few people can have access to it and they can buy it. And that, my friend, takes decades to do. It's wild how long it takes to do that kind of stuff, but I'm going to get there. And that's one of the things I'm working on. So anyway, that's where I came with designing these particular pieces of furniture. And I'm really proud of them. And again, I don't get to make very many of them, but anytime someone orders them, you better believe I'm making them because I love them. I think they're great. Okay, so here's one of my one of my legendary pieces of furniture. So I had a designer come to me and want to sell this particular vanity, or want to make this particular vanity. That's a whole other side. You get designers asking you to make shit all the time, which is great. We love our designers. But anyway, she wanted us to make this, and again, we're kind of the faux bamboo people. So I made this thing, and we asked her if we could put it on the website. She had no problems with that. And anyway, I've sold, I don't know, 70, 80 of these things over the years. I made this thing probably 5 years ago, and I sell at least a dozen, 2 dozen of these a year, and I sell a lot of them. I know it's a great piece of furniture, and it doesn't cost very much because it doesn't take very much time. And this is a 1 day, slap it together and it's done. We gotta again, I don't CNC cut this cabinet. I probably should, but it's a moneymaker. It's great, and photographs are fantastic. Photographs really help when you're trying to sell stuff. And anyway, so the story behind this is literally just designer came to me, wanted me to make it. We made it, and asked if we could put it on our website and sell it to other people. No problems, and it worked out great. So this is I made this particular vanity, this Faux bamboo vanity. I thought it'd be a seller. I thought it'd be awesome. I haven't sold one. No, I take it back. I have sold one. I have sold one. I built this thing 3 or 4 years ago, and again, I think I've sold one. So I think it's a beautiful piece, but no one was interested. It's one of those designs that didn't work, for whatever reason. But we keep it listed here, and you can see same legs, right? Same faux bamboo style. The thing that's we're known for, we sell tons of faux bamboo furniture, but this one, for whatever reason, people don't want it as a double vanity. And I don't know if that's faux bamboo just isn't popular as a double vanity, but I think faux bamboo is more popular in powder rooms and things like that, smaller rooms. And so anyway, I just never caught on. And if you look at the picture very carefully, you notice that I messed up on the design when I was cutting this thing out, and I made the bottom drawer smaller than the other two drawers, excuse me. So anyway, I don't know if that hurts. I don't know if anyone even notices, but it's definitely there. So, but anyway, it's a cool piece. I think I was going to put it in one of my bathrooms here in my house, but we haven't got to it yet. So maybe I will. So that's kind of what's going on with that one. Which this console is based off of the X vanity that I sell tons of. And I haven't got to that vanity yet, but I sell more of that vanity than anything. But anyway, this is one that has an actual drawer up top, and we sell this for people who put them in foyers. People love them. And again, I don't sell tons, I probably sell maybe 6 of these a year. And it's 5 piece. And again, but same legs, and it works out great. Same X vanity pattern. It's pretty easy to make, doesn't require much effort. And again, people seem to really, really like them. And I'll probably sell more of these. I expect to sell, I expect this thing to get hotter as the housing market improves. Housing market's kind of shitty right now. But anyway, we'll get to that. But super cool piece. And again, this started off as someone just wanted me to make this. And I did. And then I just turned around and added to my collection of furniture to sell, and it worked out great. So that's, not much of a story there. It's pretty big. This is vintage. We just added solid panels. Usually these would be glass, but we added solid panels, and the only on this particular vanity china cabinet, the only doors that open are actually the 2 doors. So we went ahead and we modified it. We remove all the other doors, and we put these on piano style hinges, and then everything opens up. And you click on this, and this was real popular during COVID. It's not so popular now, but these. Let's see, we got a good picture of this. Showed its open state. Be bummed if we didn't do that. I need to update our pictures. There we go. So you can see that we got a piano style hinge here, and then we're using the original this is Stanley hinges, and this whole cavity opens up, and then people like to put televisions in there, but here's what the original looks like, right? So only these 2 doors open. These are all fixed. So we do a couple modifications, and allows us to sell this piece for significantly more than we otherwise would, and customers really like it. And again, during COVID, it was huge, but now not so much. But come down here. All right, so this is the King Daddy. This is the, furniture makers that have been in business for a long time have certain pieces of furniture that carry them along. And those pieces of furniture carry them along until you come up with the next piece of furniture that is a hit, right? So same thing if you're into cars. Ford makes a shit ton of cars, and really only a couple of them are hits, right? There's the Ford F-150 has been the most popular truck for decades at this point. This is my Ford F-150. I sell multiples of this every month, and I've done it for years, right? Which some people might say, well, also very much you're manufacturing furniture, and I'll tell you what, it means everything, because it's almost, that there's money in the bank every month. So when you got to make payroll and rent and whatever, I know that this is going to sell. I don't have to worry about it selling. It's not a waste of time to make this piece of furniture. So anyway, this is a halo piece of furniture for me. It is something that is sold forever. I've used it to make other designs, and you've seen those in this video. And this is the thing that I like. And again, it's only $3,000 for the smallest version, and it's been a moneymaker. But the number one seller is actually this version right here, the 36-inch version, which is $4,250. So yeah, I sell a shit ton of these, and this is the thing. This is what you want to do. find that piece of furniture. And again, you don't really know what it's going to be, but this is it for me. So I'm not going to say much more about it, but it's a Halo piece of furniture. Custom chests. These are we make these as well. These are not vintage; they're new, part of our Savannah line. That is faux bamboo furniture. And again, I know for men, this is not a thing that you want to see. I'll do another video on the other furniture that I've made that is more man friendly. But this is about 40 minutes at this point, and this is what it is. This is you make lots of furniture, and there's plenty of furniture that is not going to hit. And if you get one or two pieces that are a hit, it's worth it, because those pieces of furniture are going to carry you through till you find your next hit. And I think it's really cool to know that that not every piece of furniture has to be a hit, right? Not every piece of furniture is do or die. It's continuing to produce pieces to solve problems for customers, right? They come to you with ideas, designs, all this kind of stuff, and you can make that thing happen for them, and then you can use those ideas to further your furniture making, your design, all these kind of things, and use this to grow your furniture business. So I hope people find this kind of content useful. Go through the Resplendent Crow collection of, in this case, faux bamboo furniture. Next, we'll go through some of our other lines, and yeah, everyone have a great weekend. I think we finally got some warm weather, which is going to be awesome. So take care, everyone.